And welcome back. It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for our go-to segment where we pull back the curtain on the home building and renovation world.
If you're overwhelmed, confused, or unsure about your building or remodeling project, we got you. Let's ask the contractor.
Lucas Stensland in the house. He's our general contractor and owner of H1 Construction. Yes, let me move out of the way so you can point to him. Welcome back to our holiday. And now that you're here, let's jump into today's question for Ask the Contractor. Let's talk about the construction timetable and what it represents.
Well, I mean, for the client, it's ultimately important if they have a schedule to be moved back in, if they're paying double rent somewhere, if they're paying for a construction loan of some sort, and it's important to keep us on task during that process. And it's just it really comes down to if as many of the materials that we can have selected beforehand, the better. The building of the house part is actually the easy part, right? But if I run into a countertop issue that for some reason we've selected and then we go to purchase it and it's now 12 weeks away or discontinued, now we need to make another selection, right? Now this holds up the plumber, this holds up the tile person, this holds up the electrician, this holds up the painter. So it's this huge domino effect of things. So it's important to stay ahead of those. And one of the things you'll see on construction sites is they almost seem abandoned sometimes, right? And it's for this reason.
Work stops.
Work stops.
Because a decision has to be made, right?
Yeah, a decision has to be made.
So what do you do? What do you recommend? Like you have option one and alternate?
There's a lot of decisions being made. So coming up with a lot of different options is difficult, right? And it always depends a lot on the client, right? So if we're these are the things that we need to communicate at the beginning, like, hey, Luke, I need to be in my house on October 1st, no matter what, right? Then we're going out and we'll use the countertops for the example. If these are 12 weeks away that we had selected 6 months ago, we're gonna need to now select something that's on island, right? Okay. So in order to stay on task.
Got you. What are the other common reasons that a construction schedule will have to shift during a project?
So it can be a number of things. Your contractor is overwhelmed, so it's always important to ask them, how many projects do you have going on?
Got you.
So at H1, we're very selective about who we work with for a number of reasons, as a client should be as well, right? That's why I never suggest the cheapest bid, because that's just driving you into a spot strictly driven by budget, right? It could be a bank holdup on finances. It could be the client's holdup on finances. We work with a lot of people overseas, and we run into this where we need to get a rhythm going with them or their bank because they're sending it from Japan, let's say. And we have a client right now over in Kahal that we're building a house for, and it normally takes him, I think, 14 days to get that payment processed. Now, to keep work flowing and materials flowing, we try and break down the payments as little as possible so that way the client isn't overwhelmed or making these huge, like $400,000 payments when we can break those out to deliverables, if that makes sense.
Man, so many reasons for why that construction schedule might get skewed. But let's say, for instance, everything is good. We know that you're going to do your very best to stick to that schedule. What can a homeowner do? What can someone like us do once construction begins to help you guys stay on task?
Staying involved. So I look for clients who want to be involved. So for us, me and my team will go out there every 2 weeks and I do what we call our Friday update videos on one Friday, and then the next Friday we're doing our OAC meetings, our owner, architect, contractor meetings. We have some people who are very involved in those and are out there every week. And those can bring up all sorts of things, what we're missing, what we need, and the client can say, hey, I noticed this, and we can talk about these things. So it's really important to be involved in a standard construction operating system. I would call it more of an old school way, right? You would give me a set of plans and I would say, go away, send me the checks in the mail, and this is what I'm gonna build. That's ultimately what everybody wants. You're just sending the check, but that's not what makes happy clients, because they can't necessarily read a set of plans. They don't know what's happening. So being involved can help tremendously, right? And of course, weather. We can't help weather and what that's doing. It's important to protect building materials from the elements and things like that. So, and to keep our guys safe as well, right?
Right, absolutely.
I love the communication aspect of it, because the last thing I want to do is go away and then come back and not be happy with this house, because I got to live in it with my wife, and I got to hear all the little things and stuff. So thank you so much for the communication. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you spending the time with us. And we love all this building, remodeling knowledge and construction knowledge as well.
That's right. In fact, you can get your questions answered like how we are getting ours answered in the next edition of Ask the Contractor. Just send those questions in through h1constructionhawaii.com/ask.
Mahalo Lucas from H1 Construction. If you got questions, please send them now so we can get you those answers in next week's segment of Ask the Contractor.